New documents are providing more details about the federal investigation into Hunter Biden and his business dealings in China. Catherine Herridge has the latest from Washington.
Multiple sources tell CBS News that the federal investigation into Hunter Biden's business practices is broader than previously known. The probe is exploring whether the younger Biden and his associates violated tax, money laundering, and foreign lobbying laws. Business records reviewed by CBS News and documents released by Republicans in Congress indicate multiple financial transactions involving Hunter Biden, his firm, and a Chinese energy company called CEFC. Republicans allege that the company is an arm of the Chinese government. In 2017, the year after Joe Biden left the vice presidency, a $1 million retainer was signed with the Chinese energy company for Hunter Biden's services as a lawyer. His client, a CEFC official, Patrick Ho, was later convicted of international bribery and money laundering charges for unrelated work in Africa. This week on the Senate floor, Republican Chuck Grassley presented financial records that he said showed six-figure payments from the Chinese energy company to Hunter Biden's firm.
Hunter Biden and James Biden served as the perfect vehicle by which the Communist Chinese government could gain inroads here in the United States.
Allegations about Hunter Biden's foreign business dealings reached a fever pitch during the 2020 campaign.
Hunter was being paid for access to his vice president father.
Earlier this month, White House spokesperson Jen Psaki was asked about the current investigation.
I'd point you to the Department of Justice and Hunter Biden's representatives. I'm a spokesperson for the United States. He doesn't work for the United States.
An attorney for Hunter Biden did not respond to CBS News. Last year, he told correspondent Anthony Mason the president did not financially benefit.
Have you ever given your father money from any of your business ventures?
No.
Nothing?
Nothing.
Directly or indirectly?
Directly or indirectly.
And Catherine Herridge joins me now for more. Hi there, Catherine. So remind us, how did this investigation actually begin?
Well, Elaine, good evening. Based on our reporting here at CBS News, it began as a tax inquiry and then developed into a full federal investigation involving the FBI and the IRS. And if you recall, it wasn't until late in 2020 that Hunter Biden put out a statement saying for the first time he was learning through his lawyer that there was a federal investigation into his tax matters.
Well, Hunter Biden was doing business in a number of countries. What is the potential violation there?
Well, there's something called FARA, which is the Foreign Agents Registration Act. If you dial it back before 2016, when individuals here in the United States did not report to the Justice Department that they were working on behalf of the interests of a foreign government, they were in violation of FARA, and it was typically cleaned up with a regularizing of their paperwork, so more documents were filed. But we really saw a turn after 2016 where people were being criminally charged for this representation and failing to acknowledge it to U.S. government authorities. So in Hunter Biden's case, the question is whether these business dealings in China, in Russia, in Ukraine, in Romania, whether they were properly declared when those transactions were going on.
So Hunter Biden spoke with CBS Sunday Morning correspondent Tracy Smith last year about the DOJ investigation. Let's listen to what he said.
I can say this, is I'm cooperating completely. And I am absolutely certain, 100% certain, that at the end of the investigation, that I will be cleared of any wrongdoing.
You're 100% certain?
I'm 100% certain of it. And all I can do is cooperate and trust in the process.
So, Catherine, what more do we know about his cooperation now?
Well, based on our reporting here at CBS News, we have not been steered away from the idea that recently Hunter Biden paid back some of these taxes that were owed, one of the findings of this investigation. And the reason that matters is whether if you pay that back tax, whether it kind of clears the slate for you. Tax lawyers have said to us that if you pay back tax, it can help you in a sentencing phase if charges are brought against you, but it can also be used to indicate that you may be responsible for a tax fraud in your case.
Interesting. Well, I remember, Catherine, leading up to the election in 2020, we heard a lot about Hunter Biden's laptop, which he reportedly left at a repair shop in Delaware. Are there any new details about that device?
Well, if you think back to the 2020 election, just as we were coming up to November, I think it was late October, there was a statement from former senior intelligence officials about the laptop and the emails and the records on that laptop. And if you look at their statement, the language is chosen very carefully. It basically says that we think this shows the hallmarks of a Russian disinformation campaign, and that was latched onto by the president's supporters, or then candidate Biden's supporters at that time. What we know through our own reporting, and then you see this now more widely in the reporting of the New York Times and more recently the Washington Post, that there has been essentially a verification of many of the records that were on that laptop. But I can say from our own reporting here at CBS News that we've been able to review records that are completely independent of that laptop, which goes to these issues that federal investigators are considering.
All right, to be continued. Senior investigative correspondent Catherine Herridge. Catherine, always good to talk to you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.